I wrote stuff down all the time.
It's almost 11 and there's still no stream, and Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's almost 11 and there's still no stream, and Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's 1 minute past 11 and there's still no stream, and Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's 1 minute past 11 and there's still no stream, and Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's already 11 and there's still no stream, and Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's no longer 11 and there's still no stream, and Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's almost 11 and there's still no stream, and Baldo ain't streaming tonight.
Hit like if you like the show. If you don't like the show, don't hit like, or hit thumbs down. Be like, this guy sucks. I don't mind. But if you do like the show, hit that like button. It really does. I gotta remind YouTube that I'm here. They are not distributing things out.
Oh, there we go. We're actually live. I was not prepared, actually. I was admiring this pen. Koriwa pen desk. This is from Yajima Sushi, actually. Max took me to a nice sushi place. How's it going, guys? We haven't had that many streams, but today is the Battle of Aaron's Driveway. You may remember a long time ago, there was the idea of the Battle of Jim's Driveway. Now, Jim, Mr. Medica, he lives in Minnesota, and Ralph said that he was going to go there, and then all these people are going to fight on his driveway. It didn't. It's not going to happen. It never happened. But Nick REKIETA, a man who is very much concerned with the safety and the privacy of his family, definitely wants people to just leave him alone and just leave him alone. He just wants to stream. He just wants to talk about boring trial streams and go from there. However, he's invited the fat PDF file to go see his wife's trial against Aaron. You can't make this up. He's like, oh, guys, just my wife. You leave my wife out of this. Although if you want to come and watch her trial and then talk about Aaron on your show, that's totally okay. In fact, I'll take you to a restaurant. You can stay at my place. That's not true. He's not really staying at his place. But just please, I need a damn friend. I need a damn friend. Sunny's gone. Maybe. We don't know. We haven't seen a Sunny proof of life in a long time. So anyway, that's going to be happening today. So probably would have made more sense to stream this tomorrow. But we'll see what. Maybe nothing's going to happen. I think that nothing's going to happen. So I figured I'll do my Karen Reed audit of Nick REKIETA. And as you can see, he's not doing so well. But we have a fun little PP, the old PowerPoint today. We'll get into that in just a second. First, we'll go through some various happenings and catch up, just so that my folder is clear, because Nick's been doing a lot of stupid little things, but nothing too crazy. So it's going to be too convoluted if I just save them all up. So I figure we'll just do this quick and easy stream today. If something happens, we'll do a stream tomorrow. And if nothing happens tomorrow, then we'll probably do a dinosaur stream on the gaming channel. So I'll link that at the end of the stream. How about that? All right, so there's a bit of updates. In the Montigraph case, you may remember that Nick is being sued by Montigraph for defamation. And he had an idea. He was like, look, I know that the Minnesota new anti-SLAPP does not allow my court case to be dismissed because it wasn't done. The new law came in after we'd already filed, right? But he's like, what? Well, judge, what about, can I just have a freebie? Could you just give me a freebie? God, could you just give me one freebie? So he tried to sneak in with this new anti-SLAPP that Minnesota has. Unfortunately, everyone predicted that it was going to go nowhere. But I mean, you got to kind of shoot all your shots. I mean, especially when you're, maybe 200, 300,000 in the hole for hiring Rendaza. So we have a new motion, notice of withdrawal of anti-SLAPP. So Nick has decided that his legal plan was so bad, it was so bad that he's like, you know what? We won't even waste the judge's time. We're just going to withdraw. Let's see what it says. As a matter of judicial economy, defendants have decided to withdraw the anti-SLAPP motion, index file 88, filed on June 12th, 2025. This filing is and should be deemed a notice of withdrawal. Defendant recognizes that Quest wants discovery before this motion is decided, as evidenced by his strong protestations. The anti-SLAPP law permits the lifting of the stay for the purpose of taking limited discovery, blah, 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 blah. Basically, it was never going to work. And it's dead on arrival, wasted more time, racked up more bills. So there you go. There you go. Someone says I look like I've lost weight. I have not. In fact, quite the opposite. I just have a nicer shirt on today. It's a new one. But thank you. Thank you very much. No, actually, so I filmed this video up in Tokyo. And I actually realized, this is the first time I noticed, I'm like, actually, I did get a bit chunky. I was like, wait a second. I don't look like this normally. So I gained a bit of weight. But, yeah, thank you. Thank you all the same. Chris Kelly with a 2 pounds says, miss the content. Thank you. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I love money. I love money. So that's what's happening in the Montigraph. Now, you may remember that Faren balanced. She returned to the internet briefly. Then she got into a scooter crash. Maybe you don't remember this, but Faren, she says, life update, no bueno. I cannot thank the amazing doctors and nurses at Methodist for taking such good care of me. She had a bit of a, just a little bit of a kerfuffle. Basically, she was driving on a scooter. She went off the road and, she bonked her face a little bit. She seems like she's fine. I talked to her a little bit. She said that it was probably going to be a complete recovery. Nothing to worry about. But Nick, obviously, because the only thing he can take joy in life these days is other people's suffering. The reason is not just regular Schadenfreude. It's because he has no joy whatsoever in his own life. So seeing other people fail or, be in pain is the only thing that gives him a little bit of happiness for just a few seconds. So he says, karma, 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 chameleon. This is after he made fun of Alyssa for her potential cancer diagnosis. I believe that Alyssa's currently recovering, but I'm not sure if she's got her results yet back. So fingers crossed for Alyssa. Send your prayers in the chat. One like equals one prayer, as we know. That she'll be okay. Now, the funny thing about cancer and why you shouldn't make fun of people suffering, or why specifically you should not making fun of people who have cancer, is that basically everyone has a story of a family member, a mother, a brother, a father, an aunt, an uncle that has cancer. So it's, a lot of people take it personally. Not only is it ghoulish behavior and just something you should not do, because the more you enjoy the suffering of others, the more it turns you into kind of like a demon, ghoulish sort of person. It really does corrupt the soul. It's quite interesting how that works. But it's just not good optically. As we know from Nate the lawyer, who says, fuck REKIETA, prayers to you soon, get well soon. This is in regards to Alyssa Clips. Now, why would Nate be saying, fuck REKIETA? Well, his wife has been battling cancer for, I believe, quite a while. I think she just had surgery, which was successful. And I think she's going to start radiation therapy. So she's on the recovery. But the thing with cancer is it's, like I said, everyone's got it, but she never really beat it. So it's a very personal subject. You should just not touch. Everyone that's kind of made fun of people for having cancer or wish people cancer has had pretty bad times. So fuck REKIETA, says Nate the lawyer. Now, Nick, not realizing his fuck up, was like, oh, sorry. So Nate, the lawyer, says, we're going into surgery. Thanks for all the love. See you guys soon on the other side. Nick's like, praying hard for health and recovery. It's damage control time. Damage control time. Whoopsie daisy. Whoopsie daisy. Unfortunately, by making fun of someone's cancer diagnosis, you attacked people that were starting to, maybe be a little bit nicer to you. Of course, Nate talked a bit about REKIETA. Wasn't Baldo washing, but it was quite critical of him at times, but he was still like friendly on like those laid back law or whatever they're doing. So Nick trying to do some damage control here, trying to say that he actually cares about people with cancer. But I think the bridge has been burnt, and like, I mean, I just don't see how they could go forward with this. But I thought it was kind of funny little turnabout. Now, question is, I want to ask the chat about this one. Okay, this one came up. Can anyone tell me what this means? Is the answer just galaxy gas, or Nick is drunk again? Pop Guaf, you meant me. I was gonna yella 8 with you, Lamol. What does he mean by this? Now, there's been a mysterious absence in the REKIETA-verse. That's a tweaker typo. I think it's some drunk behavior. Because you may have noticed there's been no new videos for what looks like 10 days. No streams for 8 days. Where is Baldo? Where is Baldo? That's the question. Now, he's been online. We know that because he's been in Melton's chat. He's been on the Toad chat. He's been glued to his phone because that's the only thing he does. But he's pretending to be very, very busy. Okay. Now, the reality is, we'll see what Nick said. We'll give him a chance to defend himself. So he posted on Locals saying, hello, friends. Hi, guys. Sorry I had some personal stuff hit, as well as a lingering medical issue. That's called his balls don't work. He's trying to get that dick fixed. What is it? The Rouget, or whatever it is, the Rougettes. They're no longer working. They need to put them on the double dose. He has a lingering medical issue that he's been dealing with. I'm going to put together a member-only show. Now, I'm pretty sure this didn't happen. Can somebody in the chat can someone confirm this? I'm pretty sure this did not happen whatsoever. I'm going to put together a members show tonight. Well, it doesn't say tonight. I'm going to put together a members-only show and resume normal shows. Trial for Reed is over. That's kind of funny because the Karen Reed trial is over, and I was waiting to do this stream audit / review when he finished the final day of the trial. He didn't even bother. That's the funniest thing. Is like he's like, well, I can't wait to get back to streaming. I can't wait to do some trial content. It's big numbers. It's my best numbers. You're going to never see numbers like this before. He didn't even do the verdict. He couldn't finish. This is like he bought a game on Steam. He played it for like 2 hours. He forgot to refund it or something. I don't know. Like, how do you not do the most important day? And I was looking for this data. I needed this data because, interestingly, I think if I go back to my back end here for a second. Hold on a second. Let me just check. I'm pretty sure that so the first day of Johnny Depp was like kind of small. It was like 363,000 views. The last day of Johnny Depp was 11 million, and this is in total live views and not concurrent, but live and replay views. So the first days were smallest, but the last days were the biggest. In most cases, in Rittenhouse's the day one, it was like 136,000. The last day was just under 1 million. So it's like, it's the finale. How do you miss that? That's like the easiest day. You just go on and gloat and you celebrate and you collect your super berries or whatever. For some reason, he just completely decided not to do it. Now, Turtle Boy interview coming soon, apparently. We'll see about that. Apparently, that's lined up for Thursday. I think this is very much going to depend on whether or not he gets the result that he's looking for in Aaron's trial today, or hearing today. Someone in the chat asked, does anyone know what Aaron's sentence is? Not yet. I think it's like 8 a.m. in Minnesota. I'm not sure. But Aaron's hearing is today. I have a feeling that nothing's going to happen. But we'll see what Aaron says. We'll see what Nick says. And then we'll actually have a look at the results. Like Lime says, you're back. I missed your slop. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We'll probably be putting in some more different times. It's summer over here, and I kind of want to enjoy the summer nights because the day's like so annoying. So we might be doing some more of those early morning streams, which is your guys' evenings. Like the same time as we're doing the Riot streams. That's kind of a good time for me, actually. But we'll see. I've got a lot of work to do as well. I got ghosted by an accountant. So I've been like a true story, but we'll talk about it. I mean, I'll talk about it some other time. Anyway, so sorry for the non-updates. I didn't really know what to say. Just say you're not streaming tonight or something. There have been things have also been tumultuous in general with the sentencing of Aaron approaching on Wednesday. That's today. That's today. This is the end of a painful event. We'll see about that. And the beginning of a very long road. I'll be keeping most of it off the show. Okay, I'm going to press X to doubt on this one. He cannot help talking about it. Maybe off his show, maybe, but he can't help talking about it with the Toe. Was it not the Toe crew? The Melton crew, or whatever it is. What are they show called? Little Piggy or something? I'll be keeping most of the show, but there are specific people and entities who went well beyond the bounds. I love that sound. I love that phrase, beyond the bounds. I use it all the time. That's because I actually enjoy a game called Zone of the Enders, classic game. And I think the theme song for Zone of the Enders 2 is Beyond the Bounds, and that's a banger of a track. I didn't realize that was a Kojima game, but it's a great game. Beyond the bounds of criticism. Oh my goodness. They'll be dealt with in due course. One of those people will start to learn Wednesday. You're going to learn today. Nick is saying you're going to learn today that road is long, not short. So Nick is very convinced that Aaron is going away for this. And we'll actually see his predictions, which will be fun. I ignore. Okay, this is false. And forgive a lot. Both of these are false. I feel like I have to break this into my crime lab and we'll start reviewing this. But these are both untrue. He does not ignore. He reads everything. He listens to everything. He can't help. He's addicted to it. He has never forgiven anyone in his entire life. So interesting. But I have been paying very close attention to others. Well, this is the only part that is true. Paying close attention to others, aka I watch and see everything. Would you guys be interested in hanging out with me while I do some CLEs? These are the continuing legal education credits. So basically, he's like, I can't stream these CLLs himself, but summarizing and commenting would help me cement the info and maybe make it fun. Poll below. So he's basically asking, guys, I need to get my lawyer license back, but I have to do, I think it's like 45 hours of studying. Would you watch me studying a computer stream and then not say anything for the 40 hours? He's just, no, that sounds awful. That sounds terrible. I mean, just do it on locals and it'll be fine or something. But like he's, he says to Kurt, like, don't do gaming content on your main channel. It's going to cause people to be scared away, even though that didn't prove to be true in the end. So that sounds like a riveting stream. I'm kind of wondering, like, how is he going to fit these in? The first thing is he's waiting to do his CLEs because he wants to see if this recent ethics complaint, he's got some ethics complaints. I don't know very many details about it. The word is that it's going to be from either the nanny or the nanny's boss, who is a lawyer, because he was basically doxing her, giving out her full name and saying these salacious lies about her that she was giving alcohol to his kids, which frankly nobody believes, and it's very strange for him to bring these up. But okay. Anyway. So yeah, that's what he's been up to. That's what he says. That's what he claims. I don't believe this. I don't believe that, because what he's really been doing is he's been writing fan fiction about Aaron. You can see there's been some new victim impact statements. I believe there is 3 of these that have been uploaded. Now, a victim impact statement is basically, allegedly, it's supposed to be Kayla's words about how big evil toe man has been defaming her online and talking about her and breaking his restraining order, which frankly is not true, at least in my opinion. But these are going to be apparently read in the court. And I think Nick said in Melton's chat that this is going to be, she's going to get up. Oh no, so Melton said that he talked to Nick for 2 hours. He's like, she's going to go up to the court. She's going to read her victim statement. She's going to cry. And if she can't finish the statement because it's too painful, because Aaron shared the one KN knew, then somebody else will have to read and finish it. She's going to run from the court in tears. Like, it's going to be this big waterworks moment. I think that nothing's going to happen. It's a big show. And basically he's been putting his English writing major to work by making these fan fictions up. Now, the only thing that they might have, which I think is a big fucking nothing burger, is that I think someone had a clip video or something and they got Aaron to play it on his show. There was a scene of Kayla in this clip. And then Aaron, noticing this, he got it off his show very quickly. So basically they got him with a little bit of a trap or whatever. Now, Aaron has a restraining order against him by Kayla because of the lewd that he shared with Gino, the KNU, as we call it. And so this would, in REKIETA's eyes, be a violation of the restraining order because he was actually showing Kayla on purpose. It's all a work. He pretended to show, like, I don't know, man. I don't think so. I think the judge is going to be not give a shit. It sounds like boring. But that's what's going to be happening there. There's a lot of new documents up. We got the victim statements. There we go. Now there was a very funny thing. Well, I'll get to it in a second, but Pat Dixon said he's not going to take you back, bud. Nick, move on. Lol Tobros are fucking retarded. I don't want to take Aaron back, but I do want April to talk to me again. Oh, how sad. He misses April. But in response to all of these things, because basically what happens is Nick spends 24 hours watching everything that Aaron does on one screen, and then he's got Melton's show on the other screen, and he's just looking for those one single time that Aaron's like slips up and says Kayla, and then he can gonna get him. He's gonna destroy this man, because if he can destroy the toe and show that the toe is a criminal, then his life will come right back to him. So Todd Peterson is Aaron's lawyer, and he filed something with the court, which we'll read in a second. Now Mersh posted this. Mersh said, wasn't Aaron specifically instructed not to talk about Kayla on his show? Well, I don't think he has, at least intentionally, maybe by accident, but accidents happen. I think the court understands that. Now, Nick says, holy fuck, Todd Peterson is a turbo flaggot. Your client was ordered not to mention her. I hope this letter fucks him, and then I hope he sues you. Now, what was the letter? The letter's very funny. This is the letter. Dear Judge Schultz, we are in receipt of an allegations of conditions of violation, release violation. So this is Aaron's out on bail. He's got the restraining order. He's waiting for his sentencing today. So he's violated, according to Nick. These are allegations of violation in the above titled matter. This case is scheduled for sentencing next week. There is a dispute concerning whether my client's actions actually constitute a violation of conditions of release. There is no allegation that my client contacted the victim directly in any way. The victim is apparently, and this is the very funny part, the victim is apparently continuing to watch my client's online show to search for some type of violation. Frankly, I would invite her, and her is actually Nick, okay? Kayla's not watching the Steel Toe Morning Show. It's Nick. Frankly, I would invite her, I mean, it kind of works for both Nick, to simply turn off her computer and not visit this particular website. So just stop going to the farms, stop watching the Steel Toe Morning Show, and everything's going to be okay, sweetie. That's what the judge, well, they're not the judge, but this is what Aaron's lawyer is saying. And I think that's very funny. I would ask the court to defer any action on this issue until sentencing hearing next week. And that is, again, today's sentencing hearing. If there was a serious violation of the restraining order, they most likely would have brought Aaron in. But nobody, except for Nick and the entire Steel Toe industrial complex, where they just talk about him 24/7, believes that anything's going to happen. But I mean, I guess it's part of the game. It's part of the build-up. It's part of the fun. So, I mean, you know, turnabout's fair play. People went to next trial. It is fair, I suppose, for people to go to Aaron's trial. However, it is very strange. Do you think this is a normal behavior? Like, if you really want people to leave your family, keep my wife's name out your goddamn mouth. But if you want to fly a podcast out to Minnesota to watch the trial so you can talk about it on your show, that's a-okay. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but there it is. Oh, look, we have a sponsor, apparently. Rougette's Men Health with the 2 says, don't worry, we are looking after him. Very good. He's got the sponsorship. He's going to be just fine. And also, a Direct Skin with a 5 says, I'm looking forward to Nick spooking out over Aaron getting a slap on the wrist. I mean, he might get another $50 fine, which would just inflate the value of the KNU, I suppose. Completely ignoring that he got a slap for far worse. Yes, that is true. Like, they both really got slaps on the wrist when you really think about it. But Nick's actions were much, much worse. For some reason, Nick is an innocent good boy, didn't do nothing. But Aaron is the criminal mastermind, but also retard. So it's very interesting. Invest in a Kayla nude unit right now. Could work. Now let's see. So Nick says, regarding to this matter, all of this is just because all this shit is coming to a head. He has been harassing my wife for over a year. I think the only person that's been harassing Kayla has been Nick, by continuing to bring this matter to the forefront, by talking about it, by engaging with these people that specifically are out to destroy Minnesota Golf Man or whatever Aaron does. I don't know. Even after being ordered to the court not to mention it, when did he actually mention her? Sorry, even indirectly online. Well, I mean, surely he's allowed to say, I used to be in a relationship with someone. Like, indirectly, like, there was something that Kurt said that was very true when he came onto my stream. I think last time we talked about Nick when we were doing the review. And it was a really fun interview, because like we learned that You know, like that admin scene or whatever it is, where it's like, I feel bad for you. And the other guy's like, I don't think about you at all. That's exactly the dynamic that Kurt and Nick have. Kurt just doesn't watch any of Nick's shit, and he just does his own thing, and he's doing great. But so Nick is apparently a mind reader. Like if Aaron says I was in a relationship, how do you know he was specifically talking about Kayla? And this is the thing that Kurt said. Like, for a man that will crucify you for getting a single thing wrong in your own statements, he likes to believe that. Oh wait, no, I got that around the wrong way. Sorry. Every time Nick's like, well, you never know what cops bring into your house. You never know, right? And he's like, well, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. He's very adamant about the things he says. He takes a lot of liberties with what other people say. Anyway, sorry, this isn't silly trolling, and it's caused her significant harm. So why would you invite a significant ham, Melton, to come to Minnesota? If this is really damaging to you, why would you bring someone who's literally just going to talk about the entire court case? If you want to let sleeping dogs lie, then you can't just invite the fucking toe squad or whatever it is. Tomorrow, we will get an answer on the next phase. Otherwise, I'd rather not talk about it. Well, that's a big doubt. He wants to talk about it, but his wife won't let him. It's part of why I haven't done the show for the last couple. So he confirms that he's too stressed to do his own show because he's worried about what's going to happen to Aaron. He's like literally like people throw away the word, throw around the word rent free. That's not really a word, but you know, the phrase rent free, very liberally these days. But like Aaron actually just lives rent free in Nick's head. It's another win for the Baldo. Bob Jude says Aaron's trial is in 15 minutes. Really? Is it at 9 a.m.? Wait, hold on a second. Time in Minnesota. Wait, no, there's no way. It's not at 8 a.m. You lie. You lie. That's not at 8 a.m. What is the actual time? What is the actual time? How will Nick fit all the dramatics now? Good question. Good question. I figure that like if Aaron gets a slap on the wrist, he's going to spurg out, and he might even cancel his Thursday stream. We'll have to see. It's supposed to be a big one, though. Can Turtle Boy save the REKIETA-verse? That's the question. Trucker Rob also says, howdy, people. Thank you very much. A big supporter of the show. Trucker Rob, thank you very much for the $5. Nick continues, and this is in regards to the big. Well, this is not continuing. Actually, it's a different part. But this is from Melton's show. This is when Nick is supposedly supposed to be working. He's actually just writing fan fiction for the court. He's in Melton's chat. He says, and this is to Melton, I can take you to the restaurant where everything started. Aaron doing cocaine with me the first time. So he's literally going to spend today, after the trial, reliving the good times with Aaron with his only fat friend, Melton. They aren't likely to allow video editing sentencing. That's true. No cameras in the courtroom. I believe Melton bought like a 360 camera, which I guess is the only camera that can capture his entire body in the frame. Those cameras are fun to play with. Like me and Max played with them when we went to Tokyo a couple of years back. But they've got really bad imaging quality. So like if he's setting up a 360 camera, unless he's right in Aaron's face, I don't know why you'd want it. Although the cool thing about 360 cameras is that you can reframe them into like proper, like, you know, 16:9 after the fact. So they have a lot of flexibility. But like I said, the trade-off is that the image quality is just not very good. Those sensors have terrible low light. They have terrible image definition. So if he's setting it up outside the courtroom, if Aaron's like more than 5 meters away, it's just going to be a blurry mess, in my opinion. I mean, I haven't tried the new ones, but I mean, they're fun cameras. They're just not really for staking out a courtroom. But anyway, depending on the day, I have a place for you to stay out there. So he's like, "Oh, stay at my house, Melton. Come and live with my children." If you haven't already petitioned the video of the court, you're going to need to get permission. Well, spoiler alert, they didn't get permission. Melting asking if you can do from next studio, but you have to clean. So yes, 100%, we definitely can. So Melton is apparently going to the Baldo bunker. He's very concerned about the safety of his wife and Aaron talking about her and his children. But Melton going to the house, that's okay. No problem there. You love the consistency, and you can see that Melton booked a flight. I believe he grifted the $200 on his show, and he flew from Las Vegas to Minnesota. United. Oh, look, he's got the mileage plus. There you go. He's there. What the fuck? Why is his keyboard warped? What is it? Wait a second. Wait a second. What's going on here? What the fuck is this? What the fuck? This has got to be a trick of the lens. Is he using that 360 camera? I don't know what's going on here. This is some weird ass shit. Is the G and the H literally being sucked into Melton's gravitational well? Like, what is happening here? What? I assume that this is an artifact or something of the lens, but it seems as if the keyboard is literally being sucked out of the keyboard towards him because he's fat. He's fat, chat. All right. So Melton is actually in Minnesota, and I believe he staked out the Minnesota courtroom yesterday. So he's actually been there. He is there. He will be in the courtroom. Nick, oh shit, there was a really funny picture that someone had. There was like a courtroom drawing someone had, and it's like Aaron, then with Nick in the background, Melton, and the puppet guy. So they are going to be there today, but I don't know what time it is. Frankly, like I said, I don't think it's too important. Now we got some more funny tweets from Nick before we get into the stream audit. But Nick posted out Psalms 143:12. Miss T responded saying, Grock, please recite Psalm 143:12 verbatim and tell us what you think it means and why he posted here. Grock responds, because as you know, Nick's only friends now are either fat people or AI. So let me see. In your unfailing love, silence my enemies, destroy all my foes, for I am your servant. This verse, posted by RekietaLaw, likely reflects the recent legal struggles, including a 2025 drug conviction and public criticism. It suggests a plea for divine protection and justice, aligning with the feelings under attack. Supporters see it as a faith-based coping mechanism, he said the magic word, while critics may view it as a vengeful, given its cause to destroy foes. The post's intent seems personal, rooted in adversity, but its public nature invites varied interpretations. So even Grock is against Rekieta. So he has to try and correct the record. Grock, please cite sources you used for the supporters and critics. Please organize them into a chart with 2 columns. Label the supporters as heroes and label the critics as fatsos. Very funny considering Nick's audience is very fat. Like every time I've seen a photo of anyone defending Nick or going to a Nick show, they're all fat. Like it's really quite strange. Bro, responds Mr. Frogman Frunk. Bro, Grock knows you quoted that Bible passage because you're on cocaine. That's got to be a rough one. That's fun. Just a bit of fun nonsense. Now, here's Nick's predictions for the day. So this is interesting. Best case is the judge ignores the release. This is the best case. Best case is the judge ignores the release violations and sentences him to 30 to 90 days and stays the execution. 12 months probation, no active monitoring, 2-year restraining order. So Nick is convinced. Nick is convinced that Aaron is going to spend 30 to 90 days in jail. This is an interesting prediction. Okay. Bit of a joke here, but it's fine. What do you think is going to happen? Chat, do you want to say 1 in chat for Nick is right and Aaron's going to get 30 days in prison, or 2 for nothing's going to fucking happen? It'd be fun to see because we get to find out in real time today. Nick continues, though. He says, worst case, this is the worst possible situation for the toe. Worst case, judge finds his release violations are valid and he violated the restraining order. He's charged with gross misdemeanor for this being the second restraining order violation in 10 years. He is sentenced to 364 days with 334 stayed. This triggers a probation violation from his first restraining order violation. He's forced to serve 90 days there. So 120 days in jail and then 30 to 60 days injunction on using the internet. Oh no, they're going to take away his internet. Oh, so sad. 60 hours community service and a $3,000 fine. This is the fanfic from the anti-toe squad, is that Aaron is literally going to spend the next year in prison and Nick's going to be free and good boy and did nothing wrong, and the audience is going to come back. He's going to get the super chats back. Johnny Depp's going to personally pat him on the back and say good boy. Rittenhouse is going to answer the question about balls or no balls. It's all coming together, chat. It's all coming together. So this will be a fun one. I actually got my little board here. Hold on a second. So we've got like today, oops, sorry. Nick v. Aaron. There we go. Or Aaron, whatever they call him. There we go. So that's today is Nick versus Aaron. We'll put that on the board, as you can see. Alrighty. I mean, I got to do a poll. For this one, I think. We're going to end this previous poll. This is just pure fan fiction. I don't see this happening. Let me see. What's going to happen to Aaron? nothing, $50. And then we'll add 30 days jail. And then I'll say 1 year. It's not really 1 year, but this is Nick's prediction. It's like it's got to be 1 day less than a year, just the way it works. We'll put that up in the poll, so we'll see it. I'm very curious about that. I think nothing. Like accidentally showing someone's image because someone sent you a clip on a stream. I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening as a violation of restraining order. But you never know. I mean, in every court case, there's a 50-50 chance, right? You either win or you don't. Energy King with a 2 says, toe hurt my girlfriend's husband. Apologize. I don't think he's going to apologize. D's member for 5 months says, the trial is traumatic for Kayla, but Nick bringing a fat dollar store Vita with a camera to make it an actual circus show is completely fine. Yeah, I mean, it's the hypocrisy. That's the worst part, right? Nia with a very true statement says, nothing ever happens. Very true, very true. Nico, Aaron's sentencing today is at 1:45 local. It's scheduled for 15 minutes only per judge's schedule. Yeah, he's going to get a year. He's going to get a year of penalties in 15 minutes. I've got to look. I'll tell you what I'll do. If Aaron gets away scot-free, I'll release the Max clip on the top of Tokyo Tower saying another win for the toe. He kept fucking saying that in Tokyo. I don't know why. Hold on a second. What is this? All right, I'll show this. So apparently, is this from today? Sean with a 5 said in Aaron's chat, will you convert to Islam or will you retain or remain with the Aryan Brotherhood when you go to jail? Great question. Great question for the toe. Oh, dear, dear, dear. All right. Let's see what else we got. Abel's another win for the toe. And AM member for 2 years. Thank you very much. $50, little band. Put that shit in my hand. We'll see. We'll see. All right. That's the worst case scenario. Oh, what is this? One more thing. Oh, and the victim decides. Oh, and sorry. Oh, and his victim decides. This is the worst case scenario still. This is worst case scenario still. Oh, and the victim decides to file a civil lawsuit for dissemination, which he already admitted to. Now, I believe this is because Aaron didn't get an affid plea with his pleading guilty. So Nick thinks he'll be destroyed and won't even get to fight. And if I sue him, and if REKIETA Media sues him, and then other people sue him, that would be horrid. Like, what do you mean? Now, wait a second. Aaron took a plea deal, right? So, never mind. What is Nick going to sue him for? Like, I'm sorry, what standing does Nick have? What standing does REKIETA Media have? What standing does other people? Like, Kayla maybe could sue him. What are you suing him for? Your Honor, he made me look like he showed people I was a cuck. I need the snack tray as compensation. What does he mean? This is just pure fantasy. I really don't understand. Why would REKIETA Media sue him? For what? The only thing I could think about is what is that stupid one? Like shit, what was it called? Tortious interference with business contracts because Nick didn't get the Rumble deal because of the toe. It's the toe's fault. That's what do you? I'm sorry, but no. All right, so let's see what Aaron said about this. Not the whole clip, but just the first couple minutes. So let's see. So steel toe. This is from Stalin 19. Aaron sentencing Melton Shuley. I don't know who Shuley is. I don't know who Shuley or Kevin is. So probably won't listen to that part. Let's see what they say.
Scott Jonesy with $1 says, so do we need your commissary details or what? Also, I have a plan to use vegans as a fuel source. No, I will not need a commissary fund. Tomorrow.
No, vegans and fairies would be a great renewable fuel source.
Tomorrow is when I put all of my stupid feuds and bitterness and all that shit to bed. It's I've written something very nice for tomorrow. Like I said, I kind of had an epiphany.
Who do you think is going to have the better fan fiction, Aaron or Nick? I guess we can probably find out after tomorrow, after the transcripts come out. Might be a couple of days. We'll see. Do you think that the toe is going to have the best writing, or is the writing major, the English major REKIETA, going to have the best sob story? It's kind of actually interesting how many people in these current cases haven't been writing their own shit. A lot of ghostwriters, surprisingly, in these court cases. But anyway.
While I was with family and friends and loved ones this weekend camping, Talked to my,
That's
I
nice.
talked to Todd yesterday. We're all set to go. Everything's good. Todd's words, he said everything's in place. He goes, if there was anything to worry about, I would let you know. So we're all ready to go for Wednesday. So I'm
inclined to agree just because it's a 15-minute sentencing.
excited about that. I know there's a lot of people who have their theories and I don't really address their theories because I like to let them have them and just build them as big as they can. Because
Max did write something. Is this in the disc? Hold on a second. Did Max send this to me? I know. He probably did. I know he posted it in the Discord at some point. Here's our artist interpretation of the toe after today. This is what Aaron's going to look like. And here's what Nick's going to look like. After the court case, he's going to relax with just put Nick's face on this as he's meeting the black bull. Yes, Max, send me that photo. I don't have it. You know the one, the Tanabata one. Send me that one.
Because if I go at them, they get angry and then they get all worked up and blah, blah, and it doesn't really do anything for me. But if I just stay quiet and I let them continue just blah, 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 do me this, don't worry, they'll have plenty of time to get mad tomorrow when, everything they've created in their head doesn't happen. So, I'm not going to fight with individual people who watch this all for just, something to do. God bless you. I hope whatever you're doing, I hope it makes you happy. You seem to get, I will say this about the Steel Toe hate group. It doesn't seem to be doing a lot for you.
Right. You guys get worked up no matter what.
And this is a character judgment. And I'm sorry for doing a character judgment on you, but watching from afar, I will tell you, it does not seem to be making you happy. Everything.
This is kind of true. And we're going to learn this today. But we kind of talked about it the last time with Kurt as well. But the best revenge is just living well. This is why Kurt is a winner and Nick is a loser. Because despite all of Kurt's failings, he's just decided to put the drama behind him and go forward. And he's been very successful doing that.
Involving me seems to make you very upset. I don't know if you're really getting anything out of it.
Okay.
I would try to do.
All right. So Tanabata is happening on July 7th. I don't want to go into details, but basically it's a Japanese festival where this star princess bamboo chick or something. She meets her boyfriend, I think. If it's a clear night, the star lovers get to kiss or something. Yeah, I don't know. I like it because I get to go see lights floating down the river. It's kind of cool. But you post your prayers for Tanabata, and this was in the hotel I was staying in Tokyo. And I came down and there was a very special Tanabata wishes that Max had posted. We can see here. There you go. He said another win for the toe and released the body cam. So this is Max's Tanabata wish. Very good, Max. Very good. Very cute.
Do something that's a little more life fulfilling.
Not ton of butter. That's what I'm eating on the daily. Tanabata.
But again, I'm assuming that you will hear that message and you'll go,
What do you got a problem with Tanabata for? It's just it's a summer star festival. Who gives a shit? You ever seen Kimi no Nawa? It's like that, or maybe.
That's fine. And you can do that. I'm just saying, if you had a quiet moment where it was coming from someone other than me, you might hear the message. Because again, it doesn't. I'm doing very well. I'm so happy. I have so many great things in my life. And you following me and getting angry at me and watching things you want to happen not happen, it doesn't seem to be making you happy. So, and I'm talking just random internet people.
It is a good way to extract money from the deranged audiences, though, because if you see these people that actually show up to these sort of events, like that crazy bitch who showed up with that fucking gun. A lot of people in this sort of sector are completely deranged, and you see them they're always in the comments, they're always in the replies, they're always retweeting and saying these weird shit. These people are deranged, and this is the only thing that they have that can bring them joy. So I don't know, maybe Melton doesn't give a shit about Aaron and he's just using it to extract money slowly from his deadbeat audience or something. It's a possibility. He seems to be completely obsessed with them, but I don't know why. Because usually you want to go after people larger than you. So we're actually getting dangerously high on this stream because unfortunately Nick's last stream, the average concurrent viewers was just 800 people. A bit of a spoiler alert. We're up to over almost 900 people. But how many people have liked the stream? Hang on, let me check. Come on, guys. You gotta get this up to 400 likes at least. Come on now. But usually, shouldn't you aim for a higher target? That's my question. wouldn't like going after Joe Rogan or something like because you can, if you're going to attack someone, you can kind of only grow as high as they are. So if you're going to be following Aaron, you're kind of pinned to his success. I mean, it's not entirely true, of course, because you have people like the Kino Casino that are able to make like, you know, tens of thousands of views looking after Ralph or Cog or whatever. So I guess it's not necessarily true, but they have a lot of variety in their show. It's not just one. It's like the multiplicity of it, like their entire collection of jokers that they've got.
You know, like you parasocially clinging to this thing and then just constantly getting mad at it when it doesn't go your way. I don't know who I don't know who you think you're doing it toward. You're not doing it towards me because I'm not paying attention. I'm thrilled. I'm happy. I have so many great things going on. It just seems like you're making yourself miserable and shouting into the wind. So if I were you, I would stop and I would try to focus on things that make me happy. But if you're incapable of doing that, hey, I'm not here to stop you. Chugi with $1.99 says, any hope of getting Melton barred from the court? No, of course.
They don't need to. He just can't fit in the door. What are you worried about?
Not. Let him waste his money. I mean,
is he going to be there?
If he is, I mean, I think it's a bad look.
Yeah,
not for him. Not for him. I mean,
anytime you look at him is a bad look, but okay.
Whatever. But I think it's a bad look. But you know, who am I?
I mean, it is strange. It is very strange for Nick to invite a person who's going to specifically talk about this for days and weeks on end, a trial that's specifically about your wife, who you allege is traumatized from this situation, and she's in tears and she can't bear to go outside or whatever. Not just because she's got to see what's happening with Deanna Troy this week, even though she already knows. But it's because it's such a traumatic event that you just have to have this bad man banned from your life. But then you want to publicize the event and everyone to talk about it so you can giggle with your like little schoolgirls, with your little gaggle of people that are going to discard Nick as soon as he's no longer useful in this story. She can't even watch Deep Space Nine. She can't enjoy it anymore because that was their show. She would talk to Aaron about what she would order at Quark's with Aaron. And then Aaron was like, well, couldn't they just use the replicators? And she's like, no, it doesn't work like that. You have to go pay for drinks in the Star Trek universe where we have infinite free matter from the replicators. You don't understand, Aaron. Now, unironically, like I think some documentary channel came up on YouTube for me, and it's like the history of Voyager. And I was like, well, why not? I may as well take a look at it. And now I kind of want to watch, like, all the talk about Star Trek kind of makes me want to watch it now. It was very interesting to learn about the development and all the production problems, and how Catherine Janeway, I don't remember her real name, was mad at 7 of 9 because they made it about her tits. And she's like, we don't need tits on this show because I'm a strong, elegant lady, or something like that. When I was just thinking, like, man, the 7 of 9 really was the best of Voyager. But anyway.
You know, again, when people are making mistakes, don't interrupt them. Let them.
Right.
I'm going in there very businesslike tomorrow. I talked to my attorney. He told me exactly what's going to happen. So
does he own
we go in,
suit?
we do that, I leave, and then the whole thing's over. It's all done. And I've been looking forward to this day for so long. And,
all right. I think that's about all we need to see from this clip. I mean, the thing with court is that the court isn't really like TV. You don't get like the surprise witnesses and the like break open the doors and like, wait just a second, I've got the details. It doesn't really work like that. You kind of have to submit everything ahead of time so that both parties can review and, you know, make their arguments for it. So Aaron's lawyer has already seen what Nick has submitted, and they've budgeted 15 minutes for the trial today. It's very I mean, it's not impossible. It's not impossible, but it just seems so very light. Like, the chance is basically nothing happening, I think. 52% of the vote so far, with 350 votes, says nothing's going to happen. 39% says it's going to be $50. 5% says 30 days in jail. I mean, it would be funny. Like, I mean, bad for Aaron, but it would be kind of funny at the same time. This is the great thing about fence riding. not that we're pro Nick or anything. Or we're not gonna celebrate if Nick gets a victory. It would be funny. I'll just say it's funny. But bad for Aaron. 1 year in jail, 3%. I don't think it's going to happen. But Stop Moss B with a 5 says, no matter what happens, it'll be another win for the toe. He just can't keep getting away with it. He can't keep getting away with it, as they say. All right. So before we get into the PowerPoint presentation entitled Baldo Knows Best, we've got to listen to this clip for a second. Now, this was the clip from last time, but there's one sentence in particular I want to be fresh in your mind.
or stagnating.
All right, so Kurt is, the context of this is that Kurt is complaining that like the trial Johnny Depp's ended and the LawTube channels are going into like the nuclear winter. There's no views. People are struggling.
You know, Joe Neer.
Because that's when I stopped doing trials. That's when I stopped doing trials. That's when all of you stagnated. Isn't that fucking weird, Kurt?
Interesting. So we have an interesting statement here by Nick. Everyone's channels went down because Nick REKIETA stopped streaming. It wasn't because all the wine mums tuned out and got back to their jobs. It was because Nick stopped streaming. So this will be interesting to see. This will be very interesting to see. I made you.
Has been stagnated for a long time. Andrew from Legal Mindset has been crushing it and really pushing really hard, and he's really struggling to hit 100,000. I think he will hit it based on the way that his growth is right now, but he's been like...
So Nick is also like, these are old ass clips. Nick is talking about Kurt when Kurt's going through one of his most successful growth periods, and he's just like, he has to go back into the past to argue with these ghosts of the phantoms of yesterday. This is very funny though to hear, because this is back when Legal Mindset had less than 100,000 subscribers. Like when it was around like 95. Let me just have it. Okay, I'll play the clip. I know you guys love it so much, don't you? Where is it? This should be on my my speed dial.
Legal Mindset. Legal Mindset. Legal dick suckers, more like it.
Nick, so Legal Mindset's now up to 275,000. Which actually, unironically, if there's one more nuisance streamer, or if Johnny Somali's trial is this year, Legal Mindset might actually overtake Nick in subscribers this year, if not early next year. At least based on the way this is going. The only thing that Nick can do is if he doesn't stream, because when he streams, he loses subscribers. But if he doesn't stream, then it stays fine. But no, he's doing okay.
He's having to like fight really hard. He's having to like really crush it to fight whatever it is.
There wasn't anything, spoiler alert, when YouTubers say that, oh, the YouTubes have changed, I'm not getting views anymore, what's happening? Like you see the quartering, I think he was saying his channel, my channel's dying. No, people are just not interested in your content. Sometimes weird things can happen, but this is not true. It wasn't that this weird like algorithm change or anything like that. The reality was that the biggest trial of, I guess, the century, the Johnny Depp trial happened, and then the views went back to normal. And then people had to kind of find out where they kind of ranked in the new hierarchy. Like the tide went up, a lot of ships were raised up, but then they went down and kind of got back to normal. And like some channels did disappear because, you know, the views weren't as easy and as lucrative. But the people that were around most of the time, they're basically all like the big names, the memorable names from the REKIETA, Rittenhouse, and Johnny Depp, with some exceptions, are doing really good, and in many cases better than Nick, which is funny.
And he's having a real hard time getting there. But you know, so he's been having.
This is essentially very true.
Emily D. Baker's numbers and like her total viewership numbers are way down recently.
Well, not anymore. They're way fucking up, but okay.
Nick REKIETA.
Right. But that's basically all we wanted to see, is that Nick said that the sector dried up after Nick left. So let's go into the thing here. Let me just I don't want to spoil anything. It's not super crazy, but there we go. All right. Here we go. Baldo knows best. Wait, wrong key. There we go. I miss streaming, guys, for real. And we have a bit of a recap. Okay, we're going to start off with a recap. So there's a couple of frames you would have seen before, but previously on Lost, my civil liberties for 5 years. Okay. Sorry, I thought that was good. So this is the grand return. The first week of streaming, Nick got 60,000 views in his return stream. He had 3.2K live. I predicted 3.5, so he did well, but within the margin of error. Pretty good. What about Rumble? Nobody gives a shit about Rumble. We're not talking about Rumble. It's garbage. He got $1,000 in super chats. He looked healthier. He gained weight. He's fat. And we're so back, Baldo Bros. This was the glorious return. Okay. In the first 7 days, If you remember, this is the first 7 days and includes the Karen Read trial, which is the. So I'm surprised how big the Karen Read trial really became. I didn't find it very interesting, but it became like a national phenomenon. Like it's insane, actually. Like so, next biggest stream was like 100,000 live people, right? That was Johnny Depp. Runkle of the Bailey, he had 45,000 people, which is insane. Like I like Runkle. I think he's very good. He's very interesting. He's good at what he does. But like, just think about what an achievement that is. Because like Johnny Depp, 100,000 people, yeah, that makes sense. But Karen Read, a Canadian lawyer with 45,000, holy shit, that's incredible. There's actually a very funny like side story to that, where so Runkle had like his big stream, his 45,000 live concurrent viewer stream. He had an interview with 2 people from the Karen Read trial. Of course, it was the verdict came out. Everyone was like celebrating that Karen Read was free and everything. I don't know very much about the case at all, to be honest. But it was, it was a big deal for a lot of people. But there was some wanker who stole Runkle's stream. He then posted his image over Runkle's face, and then I think he read all the same things that Runkle was saying. So he pretended that it was his interview, and I was just like, I was shocked at the amount of slime to come up with such a thing to do. I couldn't like my brain couldn't even conceive such a snake move to do this. Like it's actually incredible. I'm actually like kind of impressed. Because I would never would have thought about that. Like they literally just edited out Runkle, put their face there, and then I think read what Runkle was saying exactly, so it sounded like they were being interviewed by the guys. I think Runkle sent like a DCMA and got it taken down because I didn't get to see it myself, so I have to work off these stories. I really wanted to see it because I wanted to like the depths of slime like that. I just have to see for myself. Unfortunately, I think it was DCM. Well, maybe fortunately. That's a really interesting like copyright question though for me because that is very highly transformative. Just going to get some more water. That is highly transformative, but it doesn't feel like it's fair use. There's something wrong. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure how to explain it. I think if I had to make an argument for it, I would say that because it serves as a replacement for the original, and also that the parts, because all facets of that interview belong to Runkle's copyright. So not just him talking, but also the other people talking in that stream. Those were not sufficiently transformed. So that's how I think you would argue that in a copyright sort of dispute. But it's one of those things that kind of short circuits my brain. Like, how would I argue this sort of thing? Very, very strange. All right. So anyway, the first 7 days of the Karen Read trial, Law and Crime had 20 million views. Of course, they're kind of like the it's kind of unfair to put them there. They're just like the stream with nothing there, but I thought it was interesting. Nate the Lawyer had 3.5 million. Emily DeBaker had 1.2 million. Legal Mindset, who wasn't covering the cat trial at all, but is just one of the ex-law tubers. Well, he's still a law tuber, but kind of just the people from this time. 1.2 million. Branca, Law of Self-Defense, who I think changed his name to the Law of Self, like the Branca Show or something, which made it hard to find his channel. But he had 900,000. Melody Little, who had some fantastic streams over the Karen Read, had about just under 600,000. Andrea Burkhart had 280,000. Next was REKIETA. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Eighth place. But he's a big deal, guys. He's a big deal. Kurt was about 50,000 views behind him at this time, and Good Logic was sitting down there with 30,000. I think Joe stopped streaming the Karen Read trial, went on to P. Diddy. I'm not sure. But you can see that that Nick was in the top 3. Okay, now let's compare to the last 2 months. Do you have any predictions, chat? We're gonna go. I went back and I checked all of these channels. Do you think that people have lost? Do you think that people have won? Who are the winners and losers of this last 2 months? Of course, Nick was he had a very strong return stream, 3.2 thousand. A whole month, 2 months back, getting back into the swing of things. Surely he's doing better, right? Let's take a look. The king of late night is back, baby. So let's compare 2 months back. Now, the way I've done this is the total views. Okay, now it's not really fair in some cases because some people do shorts, some people do long form videos, some people do live streams, but it's more or less just the way we're going to gauge the success of this. Now, Law and Crime, green means that it's either improved or stayed the same place. So Law and Crime in the exact same spot. 225 million views over the last 2 months. Nate the Lawyer, who does really well. Despite the difficulty he's going through, and I wish his family the quickest of recovery, he's got 23 million views. I think that's the exact same place. In fact, I think a lot of these are in the exact same place, interestingly. Emily DeBaker, who people get mad when I say DeBaker, but I just mean Emily D. Baker, okay? 17 million views. That's some good money there, right there. Oh, that's juicy. That's juicy. Legal Mindset. Oh my god, the same place, the 4th place with 11 million views. And he's been on vacation for most of this time, which is kind of funny. But he's had some pretty big streams, and of course some pretty big coverage of the Vitali and Johnny Somali, of course. This actually kind of surprised me that he's still holding the 4th place, because Johnny Somali's got no content for like the next 2 months, basically, but life found a way. Life found a way. Branca, the same place again with 9 million views. He did very, like, Branca's, his streams don't do as well, but his regular videos are doing great. When I say his streams don't do very well, I think they do kind of similar to mine, which is good. Don't get me wrong. But like, I think he saw that Karen Reed wasn't working for him, and he kind of jumped ship to a new one. He kind of goes like, he kind of can see the writing on the wall, and if it's not working out, he's going to try. He's very pragmatic about these things, which is a great move. But he's had some very good videos on covering like the Doge, Trump, and basically Trump and gun stuff, right? Melanie Little, the same place. I think all of these people are in the same place so far with 8 million views. Wait, did Melanie Little gang? Wait, hold on a second. Let me just check. No, she's in the same place. She's in the same place. So for this trend to continue, Burkhart should be next, right? Burkhart with 4 million views over the last year. So now we are now at the spot where Nick was. Nick was the 8th player last time. I'll have to go back again. Let's have a look. So it was Burkhart, Rekieta, Kurt, and Joe. Do you think it's the same? Do you think it's different? Do you think he has gained? Let's take a look at the 8th place in the LawTube sweepstake event over the last 2 months. The 8th player is Uncivil Law. Oh no. That means that Nick not only lost a place, he was overtaken by the cowboy Kurt. Oh man. So Kurt, the only person on this chart to actually change their position. Kurt with a very tidy 2 million views over the last 2 months. Congratulations to Kurt. You love to see it. Total Kurt victory. Who's the next player? The next player in the game is REKIETA, the only person on this list to lose a spot. It's actually kind of fascinating how this worked out. It's almost as if talking about pizza casserole is not a very good legal strategy, but I don't know very much about this. I am just a small, tiny streamer with about 500 concurrent viewers. But Nick was only able to garner about 1.2 million views, which isn't terrible. I won't say it's like it's bad, but it's pretty bad for a family of 7 or sometimes 8 that need to have an expensive hobbies, right? You know, if you've got 5 kids in emergency violin lessons that happen at 11 p.m. at night, you can't really support that many violin lessons on 1.2 million views. Like, to put this in perspective, like 1.2 million views, it could be around $10,000 or something. And this is just views. It's not super chats. I'm not including the super chats because Nick has moved his primary revenue into super tips, which is non-verifiable. And but he did make more than this money. This is not saying that he made $10,000 over the last 2 months. I believe he made more than that. But divided over 7 people over 2 months, it's not really that much money, especially when he might be going on break for a couple more weeks as well. And Joe did the same, more or less the same with his position, which is kind of interesting because you would think that loyalty would be worth something, but apparently not. I mean, we saw what happened when Nick decided to step away from his stream, and he's like, well, Joe was like, well, you could restream me, Nick, help a brother out down here. And Nick couldn't even comprehend the idea of helping a friend. Very, very sad, but very funny to see that. I think Kurt, what is this? Like, it's not quite 50%. It's like, was that like 45% better than Nick? I don't know. I'm never supposed to do math live on stream, but the only math that I can understand is reading super chats. Swamp Moss B with a 5 says, remember when Nick said he would do his streams standing to prove he's sober? Guess he's not sober anymore. Well, you see, that takes effort, like, and energy. He doesn't have the leg strength for it anymore. But he does have the knee strength for it. So maybe he should do his streams on his knees. Melton is streaming. He already throwing shade at the toe. And Melton said he walked around town asking randos if they know Aaron for some reason. I mean, it's kind of cringe, but like, to be fair, Ralph did the same. So it's like, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. People mess with Nick. People went to Nick's stream. It's fair. It's fair for Melton to go up there, especially since this is his main bread and butter. I think my problem with the situation is just that Nick invited him, when Nick has said time and time again that he wants to be left alone. He wants his family specifically to be left alone, but then he invites these people. If Melton went up on his own volition, I think that would be a total normal thing for him to do. It's weird, don't get me wrong, but it's a total normal thing for him to do. And there'd be no reason really to talk about it. The fact that Nick invited him and is like, let's go on the Aaron play date where we go to the diner where Aaron and I first kissed the table while we were snuffing cocaine. And then he's like, well, I got a place for you to stay and stuff. That's very strange in my opinion. All right, let's continue. If only you knew how bad things really are. I think Nick gave up on the AI images, but like, it's kind of funny. We talked about this last time as well, but like AI, and probably because of the Ghibli shit, it's all turning piss yellow, which is kind of like Nick's career, really. So we might have a look at that in a second. But Nick kind of gave up on the AI images. I guess he wasn't getting the reaction he was expecting. Nobody really gave a shit that there was a ghost of Branca in them or anything. It wasn't not a great thing. Very lazy also to use Grock or whatever to generate those. All right, so not so fast, cowboy. Your nose is awfully red. How? I'm lying. I must be lying. No, that's not true. That's not true. Whoa, Kimusabe. Because if we look at the Nick versus Kurt Casserole Gate, you can see from these stats that even though Kurt in the red had some great last days, and Kurt had some fantastic last days, you can see that the Baldo's numbers are higher than Kurt's numbers. So how is this possible? How? This is just flagrant, dishonest data manipulation by me. Every stream that Nick does is bigger than Kurt's. Well, the thing is, while Kurt's streams are typically like the trial stream, the watching streams are smaller than Nick's. These are massive streams, by the way. Like, holy shit. I think he had like 5,000, 10,000 people watching him on those verdict watches, which is interesting because the verdict watches were typically the biggest days for Nick as well, but he completely gave up on them. The account of the views is not from streaming because, well, that's not true, actually. Sorry. It's not from the trial streaming. The thing that Kurt did to beat Nick in this case, the reason why Kurt is now up to 2 million rather than Nick's 1.5 is because he put additional work in. Nick wanted to show up, turn on the stream, sit there and passively just react and just rake in money and views and not have to do anything at all. The bare minimum. Reacting is honestly the bare minimum, especially when he wasn't really giving any legal advice. He wasn't giving any breakdowns. He was just playing with Grock. He was literally watching Melton's show or the Steel Toe show. You can actually see him in real time tweeting because he's not focused on the trial. He's got an earpiece in. He's listening to other people's shows because the Karen Reed trial, frankly, for him was boring. It was work. He didn't want to do it. But what Kurt did is he went above and beyond to find new ways to do things. Like he went and he interviewed Turtle Boy. He did these panels. He did all these extra things on days when people weren't watching the court. And these are the streams that blew away, mind you, Nick's streams, because Nick's biggest stream since his return has been 3.2 thousand views. Kurt's has been over 5,000 just on a Sunday. So that's how Kurt is able to beat Nick in these numbers, despite having a typically smaller stream for the actual trial days. And one of the things that I said during this was that I feel like if your trial streams aren't working out very well, you should, scuff them, get rid of them, scuttle them, whatever you want to say, and focus on this other content. If you can get the reaction just sitting there listening to the stream all day, that's very good money. That's great if you're on top. But if it's not working for you, you have to try something different. That's the important thing. But unfortunately, Nick can't take this advice. He would much rather watch Pizza Casserole. So in the Nick versus Kurt is very interesting to me personally. Let's have a look at Nick's. He had a lot of things going for him. He had a higher starting audience. He has like 400,000 viewers. Subscribers. Kurt has what, 150 just recently? He had the return interest. There was all this like returning people thinking about the glory days. They were waiting to come back and see what was going to happen, right? It was like, Johnny Depp again? Is that what's going to happen? He also had those previous highs, 100,000. That's an incredible amount. So Nick should have had. He had all the opportunities. What I'm trying to illustrate here is just how Nick threw away his opportunities to get back on top. But the problem is that he was bored. He doesn't like it. It's boring. It's work. He hates it. This is a sad thing that happens. When your hobby becomes your job, sometimes it's not the paradise that you think it is, right? So I think that one of the biggest problems for Nick in his streaming, if we're reviewing him critically now, this is honest criticism, is that you don't want to watch someone be unhappy, right? You want to watch someone, maybe they're getting passionate, maybe they're reacting to things they can't believe, but you don't want to see someone you don't want to watch a bored child waiting for detention to be over. And that's what Nick's streams were like. It was like watching a bored kid looking at the clock, waiting for the day to end so he could go and do some other shit, like watch other people's shows or see what his boyfriend Aaron was up to. He's also late. He doesn't care. Now, people think that this isn't a big deal. I think this actually goes to show a lot of Nick's personality. Because I think that being late is part of his brand now, but I think he's doing it for the wrong reasons. First of all, I think that being late, obviously every stream is a little bit late, that's fine. But being like an hour late, 50 minutes late, 45 minutes late, just chair reacting, it shows your audience that you just don't give a shit about them. And that's so true because people literally said to Nick on Twitter, are you going to do a verdict react? Are you going to have a look at this? Are you going to talk about the biggest trial of the year's result, the thing that you're pegging your career to? And he was like, fuck you. I've got more important things to do. Literally anything in Nick's life is more important than streaming. And if you're a Nick viewer, which I don't think you should be, if you're a Nick viewer and you're in my chat, you're probably not going to get any joy from this. Like go spend your time doing something valuable, right? But if you are here, I just want you to know this is what Nick thinks about you. You're just shit under his shoe. He doesn't give a shit about you. The only thing he cares about is what you can do for him. And he just doesn't. And I think that him being late is a reflection of that. But also, I think that he thinks that being late is like a celebrity move. It's like, well, you always got to be fashionably late, right? I think he thinks that it's like it's cool or something, but it's not. It's just cringe. Just show your audience that you care, and I think they'll pay back the support. Also, think there's a matter of false advertising with Nick's streams. This is one of the biggest things that I think has contributed to Nick's downfall, and that is that when you click on a Nick stream, you click on a Karen Reed stream, he's just seething. He's talking about me. He's talking about Kurt. He's watching pizza casserole videos. People would and I said this on Twitter. I said, hey, look, people are seeing these ridiculous streams where you watch literally an hour's worth of Kurt's members' videos. And they're like, this stream says Karen Reed. It does not say man in Texas makes pizza casserole. So a lot of people got like this really bad taste in their mouth, not from the pizza casserole, but just from Nick's what he was watching, right? And I said this on Twitter, and I had like 5 people respond to me, and I had people DM me saying like, this is so true. I wanted to see what Nick was up to, and then I couldn't stand that he was talking about Kurt. So there you go. Now, Kurt had some disadvantages, which is interesting to see how successful Kurt has been, despite his some of the things that he's had against him, like such as it's a competitive field. There's a lot of people doing this now, and you have to do something to stand out. So Kurt was at a pretty bad starting place. He's kind of awkward, and like this is kind of critical of Kurt. I like Kurt, but like let's be honest, he's a little bit autistic, but that's in the best possible way. Okay, he's very analytical, he's very serious, but he cares about what he does, and he's the kind of guy that'll say the truth rather than say something that'll benefit from him. But he's a little bit weird, and that can turn some audiences off. These are all the things that he had to overcome. But going in his favor, he showed up. He was conscientious. That's one of the most important things you can do with streaming. I know, kind of ironic since I've only streamed like twice this week, but okay. He had the great interviews. He actually went above and beyond to go find people like Turtle Boy or other lawyers and ask them in panels and things like that. He actually, went the extra mile. He also gave legal analysis. This is the biggest thing that differentiates the Nick versus Kurt streams. If you go to Uncivil Law, there's fucking law in the channel. If you go to RekietaLaw, you're getting pizza recipes. And he's talking about the, the Maillard effect, which every other regular person just says, oh, it's when you make the onions brown or whatever. It's caramelization. Nobody gives a shit. And also, he has friends. And this is the most important thing. If you see a Nick stream, this is what a Nick stream looks like. He's got the weird like micro ping counter. He's got Stuff and Bev's cannoli counter, and he's watching this man cook from years ago. Nobody gives a shit. If you go to a Kurt stream, he's got friends. This is what Nick used to have. Look at this. You have Kurt streaming with, I don't know who a lot of these people are, but he's got Bob, he's got Allison, he's got the Glera, he's got Turtle Boy, he's got Mark Betteru, that's Kurt. You've got Allison, you've got Burkhart, you've got Runkle. Why is there two Kurts? I don't know about that. Maybe this is an error. I don't know. I stole this from Scarecrow. Thanks, Scarecrow. But you can see, like, this is what people wanted to see. This is all Nick had to do, was put together a panel like the old days, yuck it up while you're waiting 12 hours for the jury to deliberate, and then you celebrate when the victory came in. That's all you had to fucking do. It's all you had to do. The best revenge is always, of course, to live well. Let's look at Nick. Nick, over the last 2 months from April 22nd, he's had 1.2 million views, which is surprisingly a 600% increase, but I guess because he hasn't done anything for the last 2 months. He lost 5,000 subscribers, and he put out 61 videos, which is actually quite a lot. I'll admit, that's quite a lot of videos. He was streaming every day, so there you go. Well, not every day, actually. He didn't show up every day. Kurt, he's got 2 million views. He's gained 7,000 subscribers. And look at that. He put the work in. He put in just about 3 times as many videos as Nick. So it goes to show you that if you do some work, you'll get rewarded. So let's have a look at the final tally for the Baldo's grand return. Over the last 2 months, he's gone from 3.2 thousand live concurrent viewers to 850. Like, I actually was shocked because I said that, like, if Nick can get between 1,000 and 2,000 viewers, likely over 2,000 viewers, he'll be just fine. But if he goes under 1,000 concurrent, that's like the death. That's like his the mark of the extinction for Nick. Okay, he actually dropped under it for his streams. I was actually shocked. I was like, "There's no way." And like people sometimes do like a sneaky screenshot, you know, where it's like you just start streaming and then you take a screenshot. It's like, look, there's only 10 people here. It's like, yeah, because the stream's been going 10 seconds. Nick had streams where he couldn't get over 1,000 viewers. This man used to have 100 times that. He's gone down. He's lost 99% of his max. He does have a very loyal last holdouts in the Baldoverse. And these are the people that see themselves in Nick, and they don't care about the things that Nick does because they could see them doing them themselves, right? But what a way to fall. You'd think he'd at least stabilize, but I think it's been 10% audience loss every single stream. Something crazy like that. He gave up. He just watches Kurt now. He literally just gave up. He hates it. You can see the pain in his face. He's suffering, chat. He's suffering. This is a funny thing that I just added actually to this, but like, he used to not read super chats unless it was $20 or higher. He now will play auto TTS, interrupt his show, interrupt his train of thought, destroy the content for other people for $5. I don't have the clip with it, but there's a very sad clip where he's like, I'm reducing the interrupt cost to $5 today, chat. If you want to interrupt the show and make my life harder, it's $5. It's a tenth of a Kayla unit. $5. Anyone? $5 to interrupt the show? Oh, buddy, that's bad. That's bad. Rumble is also still a trash website. So I don't give a shit about Rumble numbers. I'm not even going to bother looking at the Rumble shit. And this is the saddest thing is that his only joy in life comes from the pain in others. What a way to live. What a way to live. But the Turtle Boy interview is coming, guys. Okay, so this is actually true. That Turtle Boy. Where is it? So Nick this is going to save the channel. Let me see. So Lane K, this is a paying member on Locals. They says, would love to hear your thoughts at the end of Karen Reed Saga and maybe talk with a few more about it. Like maybe Law You Know or Runkle. Runkle has an interesting story related to it. Turtle Boy interview coming ASAP. Now, Turtle Boy has confirmed this, and allegedly it's happening tomorrow. But I'm curious, like, what do you guys think? We'll start a new poll. So let me see. We had 52% of the poll saying that nothing's going to happen tomorrow. What do you guys think? What do you guys think will happen for this interview? Because, I mean, sorry, where is it? Sorry, get rid of these ones. Get rid of these. Max is spamming me up now. Where is it? So we see like Kurt. Kurt had, I'll pull this up actually. So Kurt was at, I think for Turtle Boy it was 4K, but Kurt's biggest live stream, I believe, clocked out at 5.5K. So Kurt was at 5. So this is Thursday. So tomorrow or today, later in the afternoon, you've got Aaron versus Nick. Who's going to win that? But then on Thursday, allegedly, it's going to be Turtle Boy interview on the REKIETA channel. How many views do you think it's going to get? Like, post in the chat what you think, because this is the number to beat, 5.5K. I figure that like Nick should get over 1,000 at least. I think my prediction is going to be in the 2,000 to 3,000 view range for Turtle Boy on Nick's channel. Turtle Boy has been on Nick's channel before. Frankly, I don't really know what he is or who he does. I just know he's a big player in this Karen Read drama. I think he usually gets about 10,000 live viewers, or at least in the Karen Read stuff. And I think he was being sued by the prosecutors or something like that. But like I haven't followed the Karen Read, so I couldn't tell you. But he's a big deal in the Karen Read space. But my issue with this is that the trial's over. Everybody's already done their victory laps. What more could there be to watch? So I figure that Nick will do, maybe 2,000 to 3,000, but it'll be his biggest stream of the month. But I don't see him getting over 5,000. I could be wrong. Maybe Turtle Boy's got that turtle power or something. He's got that big draw. People want to see the Nick train wreck with the Turtle Boy interview? Maybe. Maybe, but I don't think there's that many. I think most of the hate watchers rather watch clips. Like there's like a couple of clippers that do very well watching Nick, but everyone else can kind of just get the best version of that by just watching the clip channels. So I'm not sure. I mean, it's interesting to see. If he beats Kurt, this will be the ultimate battle. So we've got two battles. We've got Nick versus Aaron. It looks like 52% of the audience is on Aaron's side. I mean, I think nothing's going to happen. So if Wednesday battle 1, you have Nick versus Aaron, probably going to go to Aaron. That means Nick's going to be sad, and then he's going to go into the Turtle Boy interview. And it's, even though it's not really Nick versus Kurt, that's kind of what it is in my headcanon. I'm very curious to see if that Nick can beat Kurt for once since he's returned, because Nick's current high is 3.2K. 3.2K is Nick's absolute highest stream since he's come back to streaming, since all of the coke shit and everything has finished up. A far cry from the 100,000 or even the 10,000 or the 15,000 he used to get. But it should be interesting. It should be interesting. By the way, I'll show a couple other things. Sorry, where is it? I think I just had this out here. Where is this? Yeah, Runkle had 45,000 people watching. Holy shit. I'm actually just shocked about this. Not because I don't think he deserves it, but like I said, because with Johnny Depp, Trial of the Century, I can understand 100,000 people watching that. But like for Karen Read, a Canadian lawyer, 45,000, it's like the stars aligned. I guess it is Tanabata coming up though, so that makes sense. So I guess the lovers are going to meet again. But that's crazy. That's the to me, this is like Nick's absolute maximum. Where he had like a dozen lawyers, Johnny Depp, the Trial of the Century, everything worked together, 100K. Runkle on this, some chick that was drunk and maybe run over her hot boyfriend, half of Nick's maximum. I don't know if this is like a crazy situation or if this is the future of streaming. It's just going up and up and up or something. I don't know. I'm just saying that's insane to think that like maybe the next big trial, Runkle's over 100K and he eclipses REKIETA stuff. But congratulations to him. Now, the reason I bring up Runkle a lot is just not just because he had a fantastic stream. It looks like it got over 500,000 replay watchers. But Runkle said something interesting, which is very, very wise. He is wise. He's an elf after all. He said, important internet tip. The internet will continue mocking you as long as you continue doing stupid things. The solution is just to be uninteresting, to make fun of. If you're boring, people move on. Great advice. Great advice. A lot of bots? I don't think so. Like, why would you bot that? Or why would you bot Runkle? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. I mean, it's not impossible, but I don't think so. There was one other thing I was going to say. Actually, there's a couple other things. Something weird happened on, like, so Nick had that like weird like view spikes that people were thinking maybe it's view bots or something. I actually had something similar happen with one of my channels recently. So I had these weird spikes where I get like 5. This is not live stream views. This is video views, right? So I would get these weird spikes where it go up to like 5,000 views an hour and dip off. And what was happening is someone was using my channel for advertising. Like, this is something you can do in YouTube advertising, is you can place ads or use your videos as ads. But somebody was, I don't know who, somebody was using my videos as advertisements. And I think it was from India. Now, you can disable this. So I disabled this because I don't want some random people messing with my demographics. So I disabled this. But I was wondering if maybe this is what happened to Nick. Although Nick should be able to know this because it's very obvious. You just go into the YouTube analytics and it says YouTube views from YouTube advertising. And YouTube advertising views are not useful in the slightest. because they mess with your demographics, they reduce your watch time, they reduce your click-through rate, and you don't actually receive monetized views from them. So they're completely pointless. They are very useful if you're running like an actual advertisement campaign. But I wonder if that was happening to Nick. But then again, like he was like perplexed about what was happening, and it would have been very easy to tell because it just says there like YouTube advertising views. So I don't know. I just thought I'd bring that up because it might be one of the answers. I still think that it seems like it's either a YouTube glitch or one of the Baldo washers that are parasocially invested in Nick's success, which has not been the case, as we can see here. Over the last month, Nick's peak concurrent views was 1664. The average has gone down. The average has gone down to about 1,000, and his average concurrent viewers dipping down to about 700. Very embarrassing. Of course, his peak on one of these days was 800. Oh, here it is. His peak on the 16th of June was 892 viewers. That's not great. Not great. 75% of your views are from outside viewers. A lot of channels are like that though. Like that's a very common occurrence. It depends what kind of content you make. If you make content where you are the content, like people like vlog content basically, then typically you have a higher subscriber rate. If you have a content where it's like you're making content for people and they're consuming it, then they usually don't get that invested in subscribing. So this would be like if you do like tech reviews, like I'll watch a tech review for a camera and I'll have no interest in subscribing to that channel because I'm just interested in that camera, for example. The camera's the content, not the YouTuber. That's a pretty common occurrence. Jane and John Doe with a £5 says Sneed. Indeed, Sneed indeed. Nick made you. I mean, Nick definitely helped. Yeah, sure. But ultimately, even though a lot of different factors can lead into your success, the one thing that needs to be there is you have to put out the content. You have to show up, basically. But I mean, Nick did have a lot of positive influence back in the day. Like that's the thing is most of us miss the old Nick, right? We don't want this Nick. We don't want this Nick. We want the old Nick back. Like a lot of people in the sector, I think Kurt got a big boost. Although I think Kurt got a larger boost from Legal Bites. Although she was kind of crazy. Andrew got a big boost from Nick. I got a boost from Nick. A lot of people got a boost from Nick, but you know, it's about what you do in the end. There's a lot of it's very interesting, the YouTube, watching people's YouTube success and growing and everything. I quite enjoy it. Bit of a numbers guy. Unfortunately, the numbers for Nick over the last year, he's lost 25,000 people. He's lost 25,000 subscribers. Not looking so great. Let's see over the last 7 days. Let's see the subscribers of the last 7 days. See, look, if he doesn't stream, he hasn't streamed in 7 days and he's been consistent. This is the secret. If he just doesn't stream, he'll be okay. Over the last month, how many subscribers? He's losing 2,000 a month. Not great. Not great. All right, let me see. If he's losing 25,000 a year, how many is he at now? How many subscribers is he have? When's he? Okay, so in the next year, we may be able to celebrate the 400,000 subscriber party for Nick, because Nick is currently at 416,000 subscribers. So should we do, if Nick drops, like, post a 1 in the chat if you think this is a good idea. Should we do a congratulations on 400,000 subscribers when Nick drops down another 16K? At this rate, it'll be about, well, it'll be, if he's not streaming, it's not going to happen, but should be like what, one or 2 more months? He should be there. That might be interesting. I wonder if he'll do like a Jim Sterling style celebration party. That'd be pretty funny. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, this is good advice. I mean, if you enjoy Nick's content, you can stay subscribed to him. But if you want to unsubscribe from him, you can go ahead and do it. It's up to you. I would just suggest do what your heart believes. The Pie Baker with a 5 says, it's good to see that uncivil law is popular again, popular enough to have his own ADA compliance officer. That's right. Oh, that brings me back. So this is a reference to is that the Montigraph was used to be referred to as Nick's ADA signed retard or something. It's like whenever you get large enough, you get retards just follow your channel around. And now Nick is the retard for Kurt. I see what you did there. That's very clever. That's an old reference. Belongs in a museum, but it's a good one. T-Rex and Trucking and More with a $9.99 says Runkle Streams was so big because it was the first interview Karen Reeves' team gave after the verdict. They chose to go with a YouTube streamer instead of traditional media. Oh, there you go. It's being in the right place at the right time, right? You never know. Like, you got to take those shots and ask people if, you know, like reach out to those people and say, hey, do you want to jump on my channel? It's a good idea. Speaking of jumping on channels, tomorrow we'll probably do a gaming stream. So if you want to go and subscribe to my gaming channel, which is new, and we mostly just play dinosaur games, go over to this channel in the chat. It's right there. Okay. Go subscribe to this channel. If you want to watch tomorrow's stream, it's probably going to be here because nothing's going to happen at Aaron's trial. So we'll play dinosaur games instead tomorrow, I think. I mean, if Melton goes crazy or Nick skins Aaron and starts wearing his face around, we'll stream about that. But otherwise, it's gaming. It's gaming all the way down. And BP says, you can do anything you want to do. It's totally up to you. Very true. Very true. Jan with a $5 says, long-time viewer, first time in chat. Runkle is on 315,000 subs. On the attorney interview, he's now at 621,000 views, much bigger than Nick REKIETA. Yeah, I mean, Nick has fallen. Like I said, he's if we go back to the PP, if we have a look, he's fallen. In fact, he's the only person that has fallen down in the thing. I should do a review about the quartering. I don't really care about the quartering. It's a good idea, maybe, but. I mean, the thing is, like, isn't there like a cycle of all those people? Like all those, like, the grifters, they're like, oh, my channel's being attacked. We got to buy my coffee now. And then they go up and then they go down and they do the same thing every 6 months. It's like the Shadowversity thing or something. I don't know. I don't feel like it's worth covering. I'm not very interested in the quartering. I know he's like coping and seething, and he's saying that he's going to hire people to work for him now because his channel's shit and he can't even do the basic work. What did Max say? Remember, content number 1, safety number 2. Very true. Very true. That was some fun times. Maybe we should do a camping trip this year instead of a van trip. Although, actually, maybe we could make that work. A van trip might not work, but a camping trip. Aren't you going to Australia though, BP? Again? You can't get enough of that $10 milk and mince pies or whatever. Try a DSP stream. I feel like that's beating a dead horse. Everybody's done DSP. It is very funny, the content, but I'm not really invested in the DSP. Although if you do have suggestions, I am open to suggestions for streams. It does help me out quite a bit. Let me see here. Is anyone else streaming? Anyone interesting streaming chat we could restream to? Because I think we're about finished up today. Future Conflict is streaming about something. You do that. Rip Sunny. You can put your save Sunnies in the chat. Are you going in July? You going in July? Oh, okay. MGS no death run. That's something I do want to do. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. We'll see. I don't know. I actually have to reinstall MGS on my computer because I did make some space. Yeah, I mean, like everybody talks about DSP. I want to find something new. I think we need to find virgin ground. Unlike DSP, who's been fucked by life so many times. I think we're going to play the tax-free outro song because we got a lot of support today. Much support. So I'll start. Oops. It's a bit tax-free. Start the ending song starting chat. That means it's almost up. You got to get your last chats in. How come Aussie Overlord hasn't been around lately? No, you mean on my channel? He's allowed to come on my channel. Or he's welcome to come onto my channel. I just haven't been doing many streams like with many people. I've been doing regular just solo streams. The Wiggle Wiggle started, yeah. Tax-free. Oh, wait. I forgot to tell you about how my accountant blew me off, but never mind. I'm going to get him back. Tax-free. Wiggle, wiggle. All right, chat. I'm out. Peace.